Hello friends, my name is Manush Kumar from Corp IT. This is the day 5 in our Docker series. Today we'll learn one of the important concept of the Docker, that is Docker networking. So what we'll learn in this video, we'll learn about what are the different type of Docker network that we have, and how we can create it, and what are the use case of that. After explaining each and everything, we have also a small lab for you guys so that you can also test it out, and you can let me know in the comment section that how exactly it went. So let's just look into that. So this is about the Docker networking. So let's just understand what are the type of Docker network we have. So we have a bridge network. So bridge network is kind of a default network that we have. So if by default, if you are creating a container and you are not specifying any network in a container, then the communication will happen through the bridge network. Okay. What else we have the host network. So you want your machine to be on the host level instead of residing inside a bridge. There could be some use case for that the reason we also have the host functionality. Another, we have a none network. So what exactly is none network? None network, like you want to create a container but you don't want to give any internet access to that. So for those we use the none um, Docker network. Other than that, we also have a custom network. If you want to create a custom network, then you can use that. Over, we have the overlay network. Overlay network is kind of a great thing, but to be very honest, like in the modern standard, this is not up to the mark, because there are not many people who are using the Docker Swarm. There are people who are using Kubernetes and achieve same. So that the reason I will not cover the overlay topic in this video. There is one more is called Mac VLAN. So basically what it do, it assign a MAC address to each container, making them look like as a physical device on the network. There are a few legacy software who use such kind of a setup, so that the reason we are not we will also not touch that. Now let's just jump into uh, the demos. Okay, so if you want to list how many Docker network you have, you can simply do Docker network ls. Okay, let's just also see how many container do we have. Docker ps-a, we don't have any container. So if you can see over here, Docker network ls. So there are, you have three. These are the by default networks that you have. The first one is the bridge network that we discussed. This is the default network we have. If you want to know more about that, how you can do that, you will do Docker inspect inspect and the name. So this, you can see there are lots of other detail about that particular bridge, like the idea of the bridge, of this network bridge, or hopefully, and this is the created, like what is, when it is created, what is the scope of that, what is the driver. As we already discussed, this is a local, so that the reason it's a bridge one. And then we have the enable IP6. We just disable that because it's a by default, we are not adding anything over there. The interesting thing is that, so which bridge it is using, it is using Docker 0. How we can verify that? If we run IP addr, so you can see we have a default bridge. Okay, and it is using this internal, and if you scroll over here, this is the subnet that we are using. So that's absolutely matching. Okay, now let's just create one container over there, and let's see how exactly it is. So how we can create a container over here? We can simply run docker run hyphen hyphen name nginx um, default bridge, default bridge. What else we need to mention? We will hyphen d hyphen port 8080 colon 80, then the name nginx. So we can see there is a container created. So what exactly we did, this is the name of the container, and we map it to the 8080 port. So how we can go that, we can go back to our browser, we'll type that, and the port is 8080. So you can see that this is the basic functionality of Docker bridge network, and this will exactly look and behave like that. Okay, now let's just create a uh, host network and see how exactly. And by default, we need not to create a host network, because by default it is created. So we just simply need to add it. How we can do that? will run docker run name nginx host. Let's just name of this container for the ease, we'll do -d, then we'll specify the network, that should be host, and the image should be nginx. Okay, we'll do enter, and you can see our container is created. If we do docker ps a, so you can see our container is also running. How we can verify that? We'll go to our browser, we'll go to our browser, and this is running on a 8080. What if we do directly do, we are able to access this because it is running on the host level, it is not using any sort of bridge or port. One interesting thing that you have to note, if you are also trying that, so there probably a issue that you cannot access that. This reason is very simple, the firewall D. So what I do for this sake of this video, I just disable the firewall D service in my system. As you can see, the active status is inactive. So that's how you can do it. And if you want, you can also create a custom rule for this particular port. That route also you want to go, but this is not about a video about the firewall D, so that the reason I just simply disable it in order it to work. Okay, so we also discuss about host network. Okay, now what else? We'll discuss about the none. So what are the application of a none network? Let's suppose you want to create a container where you don't want any internet access over there. In such scenario, you can leverage this network and you can create it. Let's suppose you want to create a billing system, and the billing calculation, let's suppose you want to have it in a separate container where you don't have any internet access. At that time you can use it. Or let's suppose you are creating any AI related project or something, and you want to have this thing in the you want your output to be perform in an enclosed environment, then also you can use it. Okay, so let's just see how we can do that. So we'll create let me just clear the screen. Docker ps -a, let's just create a container, docker run name nginx, then the name will be none, then the detach phase. What else we need? We don't need a port over there, we just need a network none, and then the image. So it just created a container. Let's just verify it. This is the one. Now let's just log in over there and verify it. So we do docker exec -it, this is the name, bash. So we are inside that particular container. Now let's just verify whether it is accessible or not, whether our nginx is working or not. So for that we can simply run curl, will do nginx, no, not nginx, localhost. So here the output is, so that's also working. So that's it for this video. But prior of me ending the session, let's just also discuss about the project that you have. So it's not a very complicated project. So the lab is very simple. If you can come, you need to create two container in a different network type. Let's suppose you create one in a bridge and one in a host, and then you just test the reachability of that. You try to ping another container from that and see whether it is pingable or not. So that's a small exercise for you. I will also urge you to perform all these steps. Also create all these type of network in your lab environment and see how exactly they are. So I hope you like this video. That's all for this one. We'll catch up on the day 6 tomorrow with a new updated video about the Docker. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any doubt, you can reach out to me over the social media. You can also let me know in the chat. I will be more than happy to assist you further with that. So till the time, peace.